Hello, my name is Hector Barreto, and I want to thank the leaders behind me and the organizers that put this together. This was a very impactful day, a lot of great information. I'm wearing two hats today. One is I'm the chairman of the Latino Coalition. This is a nationwide group that represents Hispanic businesses based out of Washington, D.C. But I'm also a business owner that started my business here in Los Angeles in 1987. And it's been referenced already. There was a major earthquake in 1987, the Whittier earthquake. A lot of us still remember that and how difficult it was for some of us to recover from that. I was just starting my business. 7 years later, we had the Northridge earthquake. And so it was like a double whammy, so to speak. Not only have I been involved with business organizations and having my own business, but I also had the honor and the privilege to be the SBA administrator for the U.S. I left Los Angeles in 2001, moved to Washington, D.C., and took over the Small Business Administration. I'm very proud that I was able to serve 2 terms in Washington. Something that I didn't understand when I took over that position was that I knew that I was going to be helping small businesses with capital and training and getting contracts, but I didn't understand at the time the pivotal role that the Small Business Administration plays in terms of disasters. And for whatever reason, my tenure was bookended by the 2 largest disasters in U.S. history. One of them was 9/11 at the front end of my tenure, and the other one was Hurricane Katrina. By the way, before those 2 disasters, the biggest disaster in U.S. history that the government responded to was the Northridge earthquake. I learned a lot from my experience being back at SBA and working on disaster response around the country. But one of the pivotal lessons that I learned is that it's not a question of if something's going to happen in your business. It's really just a question of when something happens. And to the extent that you do some planning, that you educate yourself, that you inform yourself, your chances of surviving a disaster go up exponentially. I remember when we responded to small businesses in Manhattan, that those businesses that had done a little bit of planning could go back into business very quickly. Those businesses that never thought about doing it, they went away. And a lot of the experts behind me have already talked about what is the opportunity cost. 2 things that are critically important to me are the small business community and the Hispanic community. It's already been referenced that California by itself is probably the 7th largest economy in the world. And so if something happens in California, it doesn't just affect California, it affects the whole country and for that matter, the whole world. If you look at the Hispanic community, just the purchasing power and what it represents in terms of small business formation, it would be the 8th largest economy in the world. And by the way, just a couple of facts that you probably already know. There are 4 million Hispanic businesses in the United States, and 1/3 of them live in California. 1/4 of them live in Southern California. Those businesses are small, medium, and large, and they generate $800 billion to the U.S. economy. And the best part is they're doubling every 5 years. We won't have 4 million companies in the next 10 years. We'll have 16 million. And by the way, women are starting businesses in our community 5 times faster than any other community. So it's incumbent upon us that we not only prepare, that's our responsibility, we must prepare, we must plan. It's not a question of if, it's just when. And so I want to thank the leadership behind me for putting this event together. I look forward to participating in future opportunities, and I will do everything that I can through my network. And by the way, information on SBA, sba.gov, a lot of great information, a lot of great tools. You're not in this by yourself. And if you're a Hispanic business and we can help you, we're thelatinocoalition.com. Thank you for your attention.
Told you it was awesome. That was great, Hector. Thank you so much for joining us. In fact, it's interesting when we talk about the power of the Hispanic business community. Stephen and I are having dinner tonight with the Mexico Consul General talking about our work with Mexico and Southern California as we're the biggest trading partners with one another. So that's very timely. But ultimately today, what we get to decide is what community we want to live in. Are we going to be one that stands or one that falls? And basically, I think we've learned, we can all agree, seismic resilient businesses are absolutely a key part of the answer of getting that one right. Thank you so much for coming today. All our guests are here for questions individually afterwards. Have a great day.